watching the Crypto Market Update with your host, Chris Marshall, your home for the latest crypto news, reviews, and updates that can be found around the block. If this is your first time here, then we would like to thank you for watching. If you enjoy the show, please like, subscribe, and share with anyone that you believe needs this type of content in their life. Just a reminder, anything discussed on this show is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. With that out of the way, let's get on with the show.
To today's crypto market recap, where we go over a couple of the events that have happened throughout the week that have had an effect on crypto. I am your host, Chris Marshall. And yeah, thanks for being here. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into this. Today's episode is brought to you by OTech, Ocala's Blockchain Crypto Technology Innovation Council. If you're in Ocala and you're into tech, you should check them out. There's a link down below, or you can find them at www.facebook.com/Ocala Tech Council. They have meetups every Tuesday night. For the rest of the month of March, they're meeting at Symmetry Coffee Co. downtown. And next month, for the month of April, they will be meeting at Juniper General Store. So yeah, go check them out. Today's market forecast, we're going to take a look at a couple of events that have happened around the crypto sphere and the effect they had on the market. We got quite a lineup of events to take a look at today. From Satoshi Island to U.S. cities accepting crypto for bills, we have had a busy week. But before we take a look at those, let's go ahead and dive in to the market update. So we're over on CoinMarketCap. Currently, there are 18,470 cryptos with a combined total market cap of just under 2 trillion. We were up over 2 trillion earlier this week, but today we are only at 1.997 trillion. So just underneath it. Look at that. We've almost hit $100 billion in 24-hour volume. It's incredible. The Bitcoin ETH dominance still sitting around the same thing as it has been, 42 and a third to 18.8. Gas is getting lower again as we're heading into the weekend. So that is good. Let's take a look at some of the coins. Today we are struggling to keep positive. I think we may have been negative on Monday, but I think if we can close today in the green, we will have a solid green week. That's pretty impressive. Overall, though, for the week, we are definitely up on Bitcoin and Ethereum, well over 6%, which is pretty cool. I don't get too many of those weeks anymore for Bitcoin and Ethereum. The rest of the market has been down today. All the altcoins today have been suffering. Well, I shouldn't say all of them. A good majority of them have been suffering today. But over the week, pretty much everything is up. Very few things are down over the week. So it was a good week to be in crypto. Ethereum Classic, probably one of the best, up almost 70% for the week, I'm sure. Yesterday, it was probably above 70%. But yeah, that's Ethereum Classic was a good week for them. Let's see what the Ethereum Classic was the highest. Yeah, 68% of the top cryptocurrencies. Biggest gainer, though, looks like we got some random coins that don't know anything about. Never heard of any of those. ApeCoin is actually down a little bit. Let's see if we can find where ApeCoin is. Sort by name. But they're one of the first ones. Yeah, down 10% for the week. I was listening to it's a Crypto Windy. I think she was saying that she's looking for ApeCoin to hold $12. If it can do that, it's a good sign. So I'm not going to be really interested in it. I won't be buying any of it. But yeah, if you're in it, you own it. Whatever you're looking for, let me know down below. I'd like to know your thoughts on where ApeCoin could go, just as an idle curiosity of mine. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Currently today we're at 47. I feel like we jumped up really fast. Pretty certain Monday we were still in extreme fear territory, but that is okay. We are getting into the real neutral area. So we'll see how that kind of plays out over the coming weeks. Let's go ahead and move on over to our chart. As you can see, Bitcoin and Ethereum are struggling to stay green for the close on Friday. Probably going to try to do, I personally will look, but I will do another little update on maybe TikTok or YouTube short to see how we close out the day today. But if we could close out the week, that would be pretty cool. Let's see. So 21st, I'm pretty certain that was Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. So a solid green week. If we could close today in the green, we are right there. If you remember some of my price theories from last Friday at this time and Monday, what we were looking at was after we broke out of this downward channel that corresponds with what Bitcoin was doing almost a month and a half prior, back in February, beginning of February. We are following the exact same path, and one of the two, we're looking at two major hurdles. First was breaking out of this major resistance line here, which we ended up doing as well, and that's kind of what really made me think that we were in this corresponding thing. Came down and touched what is now the support line and popped right back up, and we've been following this upward trend line this entire time. But doing some more looking and research on that price prediction, not price prediction, price theory, let's go with price theory, is that if we take a look at the Bitcoin chart, if we don't take a look at the wicks, let's remove these wicks here after it broke out and made this all-time, or this recent high. We just go from where it broke out of the downward channel and where it was closing at. It only made about a 17% increase from the close of that candle. So if we go back over to the Ethereum charts, you can probably guess what that yellow line is. That's the 17% from its breakout there. That would be the close. It did that twice. Bitcoin did over the course of about 2 weeks or so after it broke through some of those other resistances. So we could see potentially only a high of about, 3230 for Ethereum. That would match up with what Bitcoin's closes were after this run up. So this was at the end of 1 week. So we're kind of about in this region if it would have happened. But it still took another week, it came back up and hit here. So I'm going to say that potentially we could see 3230 by the end of next week. Potentially we could see something like this here. We come up, we're almost there. Now we're coming back down, and then we could see another swing up before we come back down. So we'll keep watching that. Now, on to some of the actual stories for today. Gotta make certain to pull up my notes, so I will forget stuff. Yeah, so that's what we're watching. Mainly I'm watching today that would close green, and we might turn red right here on Ethereum. Let's watch for a second. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can stay green. Whoa. Oh, it wants to. Not too worried about it. All right, let's move on from the charts and move on to some of these stories. First, we're going to go over some of the not so fun stories. Basically, we got Jerome Powell again stating that they're going to need new regulations for crypto. Earlier this week on Wednesday, Jerome Powell said that the new forms of digital money, such as cryptocurrencies and stablecoins, present risk to the U.S. financial system and will require new rules to protect consumers. And this is pretty funny. I was listening to some stuff on the Ripple case. If you're paying attention to that or not, that's fine. Basically, what we have with the SEC case against Ripple is one of the first instances where they're like, the SEC's like, there's 40,000 people that we need to go protect. And then all those 40,000 people are like, no, we don't want you to protect us. So it's pretty interesting to kind of see what they're doing with all these, how they're going to try to protect consumers with it all, the regulations and stuff like that. Basically, yeah, this was just a hawkish statement. They are going to try to protect us whether we want it or not. And by protecting us, I'm kind of leaning towards protecting their jobs, the current financial industry. That is my take on what they're talking about, especially when we talk about what happened today at the Central Bank and Digital Currencies virtual seminar. We had three speakers and a moderator. This was the lineup here. Gary Gorton from the Yale School of Management. I'm not gonna pronounce his name correctly. Hyun Song Shin from the Bank of International Settlements, and then Christopher Waller, the Board of Governors for the Fed. So they got on, I went through and watched it as they were talking. I didn't have a whole lot of time to digest the information, so I want to do a actual deep dive into what they were talking about. But the overall tone was not about what they were supposed to talk about, which was this: should central banks issue digital currencies? They brought it up in like the very beginning and then quickly derailed. Gary Gorton is a very interesting man. Some pretty funny stuff happened. There's a couple, they were lesser men. There would have been some heated words, let's just say that. So it's been a while since I've seen politicians bicker like that online, so it was pretty fun to watch. But they did bring up a few things kind of about what Powell was talking about and how they're going to regulate it. It seems like from their stance and why central bank digital currencies, they want to try to push it so much, is they're really worried about stable coins, mainly from the global shipping and supply lines angle. So right now through smart contracts, we are working, there's many blockchain systems out there utilizing smart contracts to kind of facilitate these supply lines and all the different markets out there right now. But one thing that they're not really incorporating is the payments of those. That's because there's so many different stable coins, so many different coins that could be used for settlements of these smart contracts. There aren't being any that are used right now in a big way. And so what they were really worried about was if they don't produce a central bank digital currency soon enough, what we're going to see is the adoption of a stable coin or some other asset to use as the settlement of those smart contracts in those supply line chains. And that's what they're primarily worried about. From Gary's point of view, specifically the big three: USDT, UST, and USDC. So it'll be interesting to see if how they try to regulate stable coins. And to Christopher Waller's point, he's not super worried about stable coins posing a threat to U.S. financial system, but he does agree that if they don't find a way to kind of help the supply chain portion of it, that they could become an issue to the U.S. dollar being a dominant player in the financial market. But just by themselves, stablecoins actually complement and help the basis of the U.S. dollar globally. So, very interesting thing. I'm going to go through and watch it again and do a deep dive on it. So be looking out for that. Follow along. Take a second. Just hit subscribe real fast. One, I'm a new channel. It really helped me out. Two, if you want to see a deep dive on that conversation, kind of how I break it down, drop a subscribe and ring that little notification bell so you get notified when I drop it. All right, from there, let's move on to a little bit more positive stuff. So Goldman Sachs, if you weren't really watching, this is pretty interesting. Right on their homepage, This is what they put up. Digitalization, from cryptocurrencies to the metaverse. Explore the megatrends that are reshaping economics, or economies. Um, Very interesting. They are promoting this a lot. There's a lot of banks who have been coming out and they are offering ways for their clientele to invest and get exposure into cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology and metaverse and all that good stuff. So this is really interesting to see play out. I think we're expected to see BlackRock come out with something here soon as well. So a lot of people think that once we have more of these major banks kind of get this out, this is when we'll see the ETF or the spot ETF for Bitcoin come out. So we'll see how that plays out over the coming weeks. Next up, Satoshi Island. This is super interesting. So basically, these people decided they were going to take a South Pacific island and turn it into a crypto destination. Everything on the island is going to be donated or is going to be denominated in crypto. You're only going to be able to allow to be transact with cryptocurrencies on the island. Your citizenship will be registered as an NFT. Your property, if you own property, you'll own an NFT. All that stuff. So very interesting to see how this plays out. I'm going to show a quick little clip of their advertising here. It's pretty interesting. So let's watch this. Put my headphones on for this part.
Welcome to Satoshi Island, an 800-acre private island in development to become a sustainable smart city. Created to be the first real-world crypto economy, running exclusively on cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies. The island seen here is located in the tropical paradise of Vanuatu in the South Pacific and is owned and operated by Satoshi Island Limited. Accessible by direct flight from Australia, Asia, and the west coast of the US and Canada, Satoshi blocks are large enough of an NFT collection made up of 2,100 uniquely identified blocks of land. Each of these blocks are large enough to build a home on, and holders of multiple blocks can combine adjoining NFTs to create larger blocks, capable of accommodating expansive homes, commercial spaces, or apartment complexes. Do you see yourself visiting?
So that's pretty interesting, right? Like real-world application for NFTs. They say it's just a real-world application for crypto in general. I think it's interesting. I'd like to visit one day. I don't plan on ever trying to own a piece of land there, but yeah, this would be a cool little vacation spot for sure. Right. So let's move on to my favorite news, or some of my favorite news of the week. Portsmouth, New Hampshire, now accepting cryptocurrency payments for bills. Check this out. So through PayPal, if you have crypto on your PayPal account, you can actually pay your overdue bills, parking bills, whatever, through this thing. So they can now dip into their crypto wallets to pay for this stuff. Basically this is just a way they want to be on the cutting edge of it. They know there's going to be some problems and they want to figure it out. And so as a way to figure it out, they're like, let's just do it. Let's, we have a partner through Invoice Cloud, and they use PayPal as a payment option. So most of the stuff was already set up, and now through PayPal you can pay for the bills in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Pretty cool. Tying into that, more cities and states doing some cool stuff in crypto. Check this out. Florida, back at it again, which is great. I'm here in Florida. Not quite down there by Miami, but hey, it's still Florida. They're talking about accepting Bitcoin for taxes. So they are currently working on a way to be able to pay for your state taxes, along with other stuff, with crypto. It's pretty awesome what DeSantis and everyone else down here in Florida is trying to do with crypto. I'm pretty excited for where this is all going to go, and I look forward to it. So I think that is it for today's show. Yeah, that's it. I want to thank you all for stopping by Remember, on Monday morning, I do a crypto market forecast where we take a look at the different events that are coming up throughout the week that you should pay attention to because you want to be in the know on what's happening in crypto, right? And we don't want to be caught off guard. So if I can help share some of those events that are coming up throughout the week and tell you when they're going to be and kind of how to find them, that's just a leg up that you can have over everybody else. So that's what I am here for. If I can be of service in any other way, feel free to reach out to me. I got a couple links down below on Instagram and Twitter, my website, and all that good stuff about other stuff that I do and how else I get some of this content out to you all. I am looking at starting a Twitch account. I'm trying to figure out how to do a multiple stream thing. I have a YouTube series right now coming out, how to basically buy and build your first cryptocurrency miner. And then I'm also looking at doing some other videos about security and stuff like that. So we are doing some cool stuff here. If you got any benefit out of today's video or out of today's stream, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe it, share it with anybody. That'd be awesome. Again, I'm Chris Marshall, and this was the Crypto Market Update. Thanks. See you around.